Starting in 5, 4, 3.
Hi, welcome to the highly anticipated, long awaited Amber Show. Welcome to the Amber Show. I'm here finally. So, today we're going to talk about top five everything. Top five everythings from singers to movies to rappers to trending news. So, we're going to start by talking about what's trending. Top five things I have trending. Number one, the Grimace milkshake. Have y'all seen the Grimace milkshake? Really? It's purple. So it's giving purple. It's really giving purple, but yes. So McDonald's is celebrating Grimace's 52nd birthday with a first ever purple milkshake inspired by his color purple, in which I love so much. The flavor is vanilla with a twist of blueberry. So it's been trending on TikTok for weeks and I'm loving it. Topic number two, Keke Palmer is next in trending news. Keke Palmer attended Usher's concert, which was live, and she flirted with him a little on stage and he serenaded her. Then here come her baby daddy / boyfriend with the drama for Twitter. So her baby daddy gonna go on Twitter talking about it's the outfit though, you and mom. Like, boy, that girl is 30-some years old. She can do whatever she wanna do. You ain't her husband. You're just a baby daddy. So next trending is the White House. All right. Let's get to the logistics of it all. The White House, a powdery substance that has been identified as was found in the White House this week. It was found in the West Wing of the White House. I don't know how to feel about that. That's real weird to me, y'all. How do you feel about that happening up under on the president's watch, like in his house? The feds, don't they be outside already? I don't know. But anyways, the question is, for me, whose was it? Because, like, we need very specific information. We need to know, how can you get drugs into the White House? That's ridiculous. Now, if it was Donald Trump, he would have been all kind of impeached again and again and again. But they just letting Biden be old, I guess. I don't know. It was his. That's all I got to say. So, what's next trending is a more serious topic in which I feel horrible to report about it. So, the body of a missing 2-year-old Winter Smith was found today on Detroit's east side. It was recovered by FBI agents, and the little girl was kidnapped from Lansing a few days ago, and I guess she was taken from her mother's possession by her boyfriend, and it's unfortunate. She was the subject of an Amber Alert, and it was devastating to hear that would happen to an innocent child. It's horrible. It's horrible. But on to a less serious topic. So, Pepsi, right? We all love Pepsi, right? Well, Pepsi is not just pop anymore. It's not just a pop or a soda. Guess what Pepsi have branched off into? Condiments. So Pepsi has made a ketchup, and the name of the ketchup is called Cola Chup. I don't know about y'all, but I love ketchup, and I will be trying some Cola Chup. So the Pepsi company says it tastes sweet and citrusy. And unfortunately for us, it's not going to be sold in stores. It will be in only select baseball stadiums, Major League Baseball stadiums, such as the Yankee Stadium, etc., etc. But basically, it's a Pepsi Cola infused ketchup that we are not special enough to get the privilege to eat. So that is my top 5 trending. Top 5 trendings. Okay, so on to more top 5s. The most famous top 5 I can give y'all is everybody knows top 5 dead or alive. So when I say top 5 dead or alive, I'm talking about rap. I'm talking about real rap, taking it back to the, you know what I'm saying? Tupac. So look, here's my top 5 dead or alive. So got number 1, Tupac. You know, that's number 1 for life. Number 2, at Biggie. Number 3, Nas. Number 4, Jay-Z. Let me not add a female. Maybe I'll just go ahead and give you number 5 and just give you Nicki Minaj in my top 5 dead or alive. Because we gonna start putting women where they need to be. Because she better. She's real good. She next. She Nicki Minaj. So, that's my top 5. But actually, I was gonna say Jadakiss or Eminem and then make them have a versus, fight for the spot, and see what the fans is giving between Jada and M. But that's another day, another podcast, another show. So, that was my top 5 dead or alive. And my top 5 singers. My top 5 singers of all time are number 1, Mariah Carey. Anytime I think about singing, I think about what would Mariah do? You know, what would Mariah Carey do? So Mariah at number 1. We have Whitney Houston at number 2. Number 3, Brian McKnight. Number 4, R. Kelly. And number 5, Beyonce. It's not disputable. It's not negotiable. That is what it is. That's my top 5, and I'm staying there with it. I don't want to hear nothing about nothing. Anyway, so, what would be a top 5 amongst this generation? I don't have a top 5 for this generation, but I will surely include Ariana Grande. She will probably be given number 1. I'm not sure. And I'll just leave that at that, because it's not my gen. So, it's not my generation. Well, my next top 5 is going to be top 5 podcasts. Since this is a podcast, right? Let's talk about podcasts. So, in my top 5, we're going to do a countdown. So, at number 5, we have Lip Service with Angela Yee. I love Angela Yee because she's just free to talk about whatever she want to talk about on her show, on her own platform. And it's amazing because she can do that. So, next we have Drink Champs, Noriega. I love Noriega's personality. He's hilarious. He gives everybody their flowers. He big up everybody, make everybody feel real good, right? And got a story for everybody. Coming in at number 3, $1 Million Worth of Game with Wallo and Gilly. I love Gilly and I love Wallo together. Their dynamic is hilarious. I love how they play off each other. They talk about each other. They just have so much humor. And they're like brothers, and it's amazing to see on film. So, coming in at number 2, my favorite, actually, even though it's at number 2, but it's one of my favorites, The Joe Rogan Show. The Joe Rogan Show podcast is so good. It will change your life. They will talk about everything that you think about. And they'll talk about ghost stories, and they'll talk about the Titanic, and they'll talk about aliens and the Bermuda Triangle and different dimensions, like everything that I love to research. So that's why I love his podcast so much. He does the work, like he had the resources. He comes in and he just put it all on the table. Coming in at number 1, which I know YouTube loves countdowns. Coming in at number 1 is number 1 podcast, The 85 South Show, with DC Young Fly, Carlos Miller, and Chico Bean. It's the best podcast because it's the funniest podcast. Who doesn't love to laugh? I know I do. And those 3 together are so amazing. And that is Top 5 Podcasts. Now, we are going to talk about my favorite of all time. Movie, cinema, what I love, right? So my favorite genre is horror. I love horror. So I want to talk about the top 5 horror movies of all time, right? Coming in at number 5, Night of the Living Dead, Part 1, in black and white from the 60s. Don't really have much information about the writers and directors, but yeah, it makes for great cinema. Coming in at number 4, we have A Nightmare on Elm Street. Just that, A Nightmare on Elm Street. It's part 1 with Nancy and Tina and Glenn and all of those original characters, where the face was just burnt and the sweater was dirty and raggedy, and it was red and green, not red and black, and the hat was dirty. Yeah, that one. So I love that. Coming in at number 3, we have an original slasher, and the movie is Halloween. I love Michael Myers as a killer. Just to start off so early, just been a killer since day 1. Killing as a kid, killing rats, killing your pets, killing your mom's boyfriend, killing your siblings. Just a killer. I love it. But yeah, Michael Myers, the original slasher, super strong, cannot die. All the things I love about horror slashers. Coming in at number 2, Saw. I love Saw. The Jigsaw Killer. Amazing, right? When I make my slasher movie, it's going to be very original. It's going to be a killer. Going to be a storyline. It's going to be a reason why. It's going to be deep. And it's going to be good. But yeah. So at number 1, we have Friday the 13th. Jason Voorhees, Camp Crystal Lake. Yep. And that is it for my top 5 horror films of all time. And I'm keeping it very original when I say the movie, it's not a sequel. Saw 1, Nightmare on Elm Street 1, Friday the 13th 1. Oh, actually, the original killer was Mrs. Voorhees. We all know that. But so my top 5 movies of all time. This is a tough one because there's so many. So for my last segment, I have to narrow it down to just 3. So my top 3 are Juice, which is one of my favorite movies of all time, one of my favorite actors of all time, one of my favorite rappers of all time, one of my favorite T-shirt characters of all time, Tupac Shakur. Juice, I love all his work. I love all his film, but Juice is the one he showed most passionate to acting in. Like, you believed his character. Like, he was Bishop. When he played Bishop, he became Bishop. He was that kid from that neighborhood coming to that store and doing those crimes. Like, he really became his character. And I like his character a lot because he was like a psycho, but it was strange. Very passionate, very good acting, very good acting. So, my next movie is Menace to Society. I love ghetto hood movies. That's my genre, horror and hood. Horror and hood. My movie is going to be where horror meets hood. Like Lap in the Hood. Don't do no good. But yeah. So Menace to Society, such a good movie. All-star cast. Some of the best actors ever. Larenz Tate. You know, people like that. And then for my number one of all time, Kill Bill. I love Kill Bill 1. I love Kill Bill 2. To me, it's just one long movie. But apparently, it was put into 2. But yeah, Kill Bill, I'll say volume 1. It's pretty good. Well, it was made by one of my favorite directors and filmmakers, Quentin Tarantino, where I grab my inspiration from in the most cinematic way ever. Yep, and that is all we have today. Thank you, everybody, for watching The Amber Show, tuning into The Amber Show. Do you see my logo? Isn't it beautiful? It's all mine. So yeah, I'm very happy to have shared this podcast with you. If you like to, you can like, click, and share, and don't be afraid to. And don't forget to subscribe for $59.95. Thank you. Good night.